Simu Liu. Thank you so much for coming.
It's so good to be the first Asian guest. This is not fact checked. The first Asian guest ever not to be interviewed by Ronnie Chang.
Yes, yes.
True or false?
This seems correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending time with me and everything. I
I
had a
appreciate
quick
that,
question
man.
for you because
Yeah.
in Oh Mary, you're gonna be playing a hot actor, and I'm wondering if that's a stretch for you as a hot actor. You know what I mean? You are a very good-looking man.
I mean, I appreciate you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it depends on who you ask, but yeah, maybe the haters will say I'm really pushing my range.
Okay. All right.
But no, yeah, it's a really exciting play. I feel like it's one of those. It's really cool because the play's been around for a minute. You know, it's been running for a couple years, but everyone's been really good about not spoiling it. So I feel like a lot of people know about it, but have no idea what it's about. And that's kind of the sweet spot, I think, for me when I enjoy something, to go in with no expectations and to just be absolutely blown away. So yeah, I play a character called Mary's teacher. And that's pretty much all you need to know.
Okay.
I don't know if you, yeah.
All right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, are you coming at this a different way? Because, you know, you are this, like, movie action star, and you're going to Broadway, and I feel like they call on very different skills as an actor.
Right.
So what's the transition like for you from one to the other?
Yeah, it's definitely something. But no, I feel like there's, you know, maybe like a misconception that theater is more intimate than film, and as a general statement. But I've actually found the opposite to be true. That in film is a very intimate space for an actor to play in, because oftentimes you're in a close-up. And so, you know, you play in the micro expressions and the glances. I mean, especially this show that I'm on, the Copenhagen Test, is so much about where Alexander's looking at any given time. And like in a theater of, say, 3,000 people, that's just not gonna play as well. And so you have to make sure that you're projecting so that the back row can hear you, and you know, you're making these choices and these decisions that like are just, they're bigger and they're broader, because you need to make sure that you're reaching every single person in the audience. And so I think just getting into that kind of physicality where you're on a stage, you're not being protected by a camera, you're not being protected by editors, and you're just, you know, your entire person is just kind of out there. It's a really great kind of education for an actor.
Yeah. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It seems like, yeah, the misconception is that one is big, one is small, and it's really the opposite experience for the actor. Yeah. Okay. Because when you started out, you were doing lots of stunts, right? Is that correct?
I was literally doing anything that I could to work. Like I did. I was like a substitute stuntman. I think I wrote on a TV show at one point. I did a lot of stock photography, which I'm very famous for on the internet now. Like the most famous stock photo model of all time.
Yeah. Because when you take a stock photo, in your mind, you're like, all right, this might get used like 3 times in somebody's book report, and then like.
Because how many stock photo shoots have ever happened in the history of, but you know.
Did you think about that when you started to land Marvel roles, where you're like, oh, some of these stock photos gonna come back?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that when you do one of these shoots, you sign a waiver in the top of the day, and you sign away your rights in perpetuity. So people don't realize that I don't make any money off of that. I mean, that's the whole point of stock photos, is that it's stock. So there's no royalty component to any of it, which sucks. I would not make that deal today, and I made $100 for those photos.
Yeah. Wow.
For how widely viewed they are, I feel like it's a really terrible deal.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. There is one other thing you mentioned that piqued my interest. So you said you would work sometimes as like a substitute stunt, like, man.
Yeah.
So when the first person get hurt, is that when you...
Exactly. That's when I would come in. I mean, yeah, it was like, the way I see it is I wasn't maybe good enough to be in the rotation, so I was like maybe on the bench, Like if it was an NBA team, I was like Brian Scalabrine, you know. And so when all your starters got injured,
wow, yeah.
and you were like, I have to field some people on the field, like somebody has to do it. Yeah, that was kind of where I came in. But I was happy, you know, I was happy to work. So
you were never scared. You were never like, okay, that hurt 2 people now.
Yeah,
like not like. Maybe this is a bad stunt.
Stunts is not one of the, I learned this the hard way, stunts is not one of those fields where you want to lie about your work experience, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I did it, like, constantly. They were like, oh, have you ever been squibbed before? Squib is like a little explosive packet for when you get shot by a bullet. So, it's you know, it's a
like
prop
blood.
And it's fake, but it's also like, there's impact and there's like a little micro explosion. And I was like, yeah, I know what that is, and it really hurt. I wasn't ready for it. I think I had my hand like somewhere near, and it nearly blew my hand off. You know, there's this thing called a gainer 3/4, where you get, you know, stunt people do it sometimes, where you get clocked in the throat, and you kind of do this like backflip, and you land on your, and they're like, you've done that before, right? And I was like, yeah. And I had never done it before, so I had to like learn it as I was doing it, and
And so it just felt real when you did it. Then.
Yeah, I just did it for real. I kind of expected, as a character act, like I was like, oh yeah, that it would just come to me in that moment. Like I would just.
Was there ever a take where they came up to you after they cut and they were like, "Why didn't you move?"
Yeah.
Like,
No, totally.
You just got hit.
I definitly wasn't falling the right way. Yeah. So let that be a lesson to everyone out there who you can't just do stunts. Like there's a progression that you have to train towards. Yeah.
So are you doing stunts in the Copenhagen Test?
Yeah, I'm a pretty competitive guy when it comes to that stuff now. Because I've lied my way to the table, you see. I've now hit a point where I am actually kind of experienced at it. And so I do kind of feel some sort of pride. And also, you know, just growing up Asian, you know, you're watching Jackie Chan, you're watching Jet Li no, but it's true, right? Like you watch them on film, and there was just something internal in me that was like, this is one of the, at least at that time, one of the few things that Asian people can be proud of, is the fact that we make great martial arts movies. And so, yeah, I was like, if I ever found myself in that position, I got to do my own stunts.
Yeah.
I'd be like bringing dishonor to Jackie and Jet by not, you know.
I mean, I do think they'd forgive you if you didn't have the squib go off on you.
It is this like weird racial double standard though, where like I feel like I've seen when a white actor does their own stunts, and it's like they do maybe like 20% of it, they're like, oh my God,
yeah,
this is incredible, you did your own stunt, like fantastic, good job. And then like being Asian though, the expectation is so, like if I like jumped through the window and then there was like a stunt person that took the last like little bit of it, they'd be like, but yeah, that wasn't. Jackie would have done the whole thing and then broken his arm in 7 different places and then been sent to the hospital.
Yeah, that's actually very, very true. Because I feel like we are all like aghast that Tom Cruise is still doing his own stunts.
Right.
He might be the only one. I don't know about a ton of white actors. Maybe Jason Statham or something.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
But I feel like after those two,
No, not too many.
No. And so do you think that there's anything in these experiences that you've had on screen that you're bringing to Broadway, even though you have to make them bigger, even though you don't get the same amount of like, let's cut, retake that, actually I think I can do that better and everything? Like, Broadway's so immediate for the audience. Is there anything that you think is transferring over really well?
I mean, I think the thing, when you bring it really just down to the craft and you distill a scene to like, what is its, you hear actors talk a lot about the universal truth. Like, what is the universal truth of the scene? No matter how big or how small you play it, if you lose that thread of truth, then you lose the scene. And so I think if it's one thing that I can bring, or one thing that I think every actor needs to bring across whatever medium, it's that like, our goal, it's not to like look super cool on camera or to, for everyone to think that we're a good actor. It's to play the truth of whatever it is that character is going through. And I think that you can do that in a big way, and you can do that in a very intimate and small way, but it's just an actor's craft is choosing in which way that truth gets reflected.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
All episodes of the Copenhagen Test are streaming now on Peacock, and you can catch Simu on Broadway in Oh Mary beginning February 3rd. Simu Liu.